New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
Colin Kaepernick's a topic we've been covering for years now. And the conversation this year obviously had slowed down because we didn't know where this thing was going. The Jay-Z thing happened. We had our own comments. I said, Hov, I said he's earned the right for us to see what actually happened. And there's no confirmation that this latest workout with Colin Kaepernick was helped to happen by Jay-Z.
But everyone thinks that.
That's been floated around, but there's no confirmation.
No.
And I just want to say, if he did help get it to a potential, we applaud that, yes?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I give him credit for trying to push the NFL to do the right thing. But
Okay.
that doesn't mean that when the NFL decided to make a decision, they might have been like, okay, Jay, no problem. We'll listen to you. That doesn't mean now that their intentions are good.
So now, boom, last Tuesday, we hear about this workout that was supposed to happen this Saturday.
Correct.
We all heard about it, the media, the same time Colin Kaepernick heard about it.
I didn't know that.
Just nuts.
So that means there was no preliminary convo about like, hey, so we're thinking about figuring out a way to get beyond our differences. What works for you? How would this work?
Right.
And I get it. It's the NFL, the frozen tundra, all of those things, right? They don't have to do anything. They don't have to ask you what you need and what makes you comfortable. If you want to play in the NFL, then just play in the NFL. You get nothing. And that's usually the posture. But in this Colin Kaepernick scenario, right, maybe you might want to change the posture if you're actually trying to make this be smooth.
Right, because the goal is, let's be honest, the goal, whether he plays or doesn't, is a public rehabilitation of the image of the NFL.
And acknowledging that we're serious about helping police and the community come closer together and criminal justice. And this was the guy that got the conversation there. So we're going to give him this opportunity.
And let everyone know that even if things happened in the past that weren't great, we want everyone to know this is on the up and up. And, because we all know that they settled already.
Yep.
So now, they settled, and that was a mistake. We're going to do the right thing now and give this guy a full opportunity to be employed by the NFL.
So they announce it. We hear it at the same time he hears it. At which point his representatives, Colin Kaepernick, say, well, why are we doing this on a Saturday? Can't we do this on a Tuesday? Saturday would be tough for people from the teams to actually make it. Everyone that played in the NFL before acknowledged that this was an abnormal day to actually execute this. Okay? But they got beyond it. Cap was like, I'll be there on Saturday.
Well, and then the NFL also said that 25 different teams would be there. Almost the whole league.
Remember we talked about we went through all of them last time.
Almost everyone was there.
So, boom. So this is moving forward. Now, I'm told that Cap was like, all right, so who am I throwing to? And also, can you provide me a list of the people actually showing up from the teams that you say are going to be there? The NFL initially said, yes, we'll provide you with the list of people that are going to be there. And then on Friday and Saturday said, no, we can't give you the actual list of the people who are showing up. At which point, I think Colin Kaepernick was like, well, who am I throwing to? Can I bring in some people that I've actually practiced with before to make this? Because normally, I guess, quarterbacks and people who do this, they know who they're throwing to. It's people they've thrown to before. So, okay, boom. That happens. We get to Saturday morning, and the whole thing starts to fall apart. It goes from Kaepernick is showing up to the venue to the NFL will not let him bring in his own camera crew to film, and he wants the old media there because he doesn't trust the NFL, and I want transparency.
Sure.
Come to find out, they gave him some document, a waiver that normally when you do these workouts, you do sign a waiver. It's a physical waiver, meaning basically if something happens to you, you can't hold the NFL liable, and it doesn't guarantee you a job in the NFL.
Okay.
But they added something special in there for Colin Kaepernick.
Of course.
A little special sauce.
Right.
Which was also, this doesn't guarantee you a job. Oh, and by the way, if you have any grievances against the NFL in the past or in the future, you can't sue us.
Wait,
They just
what?
wanted to throw that in there.
It was like, this is standard? Nah, that can't fly.
The weird paragraph is paragraph 7. In consideration for the opportunity to participate in the workout, player for himself, his personal representatives, executors, administrators, heirs, successors, and assigns, hereby releases, discharges, and agrees to indemnify and hold harmless National Invitational Camp, National Football Scouting, the owners, operators, and managers of the facility, any and all individuals participating or present at the workout, including, without limitation, Joe Philbin, the National Football League, and each of its 32 member clubs. So basically, it just gives everyone a complete pass that they are no longer responsible in any way for him being employed.
Now, if there wasn't some brouhaha behind the scenes, why would you need to add that? If this was already settled, you guys had a settlement and it was already over, why would you need to add that?
Couldn't you simply just say, the only thing would say, this specific workout does not guarantee that an NFL team will give you a job?
No, this workout was in exchange for your silence.
That's what that says.
That's what that says.
That's what that says.
And not only his silence.
And they like sign it.
But his kid's silence, his kid's silence, his wife's silence, everybody.
It's silence forever, yeah.
So we're going to give you what you've been asking for, sign this paper, and shut up.
And so the reason I have a problem with Stephen A. is because in this audio, he tries to downplay this document like it's meaningless.
Right. That's how I feel too.
Which basically says, yo, Colin Kaepernick, if you want to play in the NFL, give away all your power and everything that you've worked for to the NFL and just go play. So that's the quote-unquote if you want to play crowd.
Right.
But then there's the I'm still with Cap crowd. That's like, yo, my man, don't play yourself. Don't go out here and all this work that you've done to establish yourself as an activist and a brand around activism. Don't just play it out for an opportunity to go throw the football. Right. And I think that's where the rubber meets the road here. Do you have the Stephen A. audio?
Colin Kaepernick wants to change the venue. Colin Kaepernick wants his own receivers. Colin Kaepernick wants to video things himself. Colin Kaepernick wants the media. This Colin Kaepernick, media can't find him. He ain't done no interviews. He ain't talked to nobody. Media can't find him, but he wants to do it. He wants the media available now. You see, he don't want to play. He wants to be a martyr. But guess what? It ain't working this time. All of us believe that Colin Kaepernick would have showed out. And if he had showed out, I'm here to tell you, I believe he would have had a job inside of 2 weeks. But it didn't happen because he didn't show. He wanted to show up to a high school in Georgia. Not an NFL facility, a high school. And then YouTube it live. Like the average Joe out there gets to decide if he's on the NFL roster. You don't want to work. You just want to make noise. And you want to control the narrative. It's over. Colin Kaepernick's aspiration in the NFL for an NFL career. It's over.
It might be over, Stephen A., but you, sir, from this point forward, once again, will be guilty of oversimplifying an issue to the audience that doesn't understand the backdrop and being very underhanded, bro. This is very underhanded the way you're moving. You're moving with NFL talking points, and I know that $8 million contract got you moving. Like, you want to make sure you move right to get them $8 million a year. I get it. I understand it.
And that audio he came out with was over the weekend on his phone.
It was
in
on
his
Saturday.
apartment.
It didn't even wait. But he does that. He does that every night.
But you make a great point, Ebro. What's frustrating about it is I know that's what he does. He's a provocateur. He's here to have arguments. I say one thing, everyone on the other side gets angry, and we fight. And I get it. That's entertaining. The truth of the matter is what happened on Saturday was mad gray. The NFL was crappy, no doubt. They did things that were untrustworthy and lame. Kaepernick did what I think he had to do in some ways. But then I don't think Cap did a great job painting the thing in a way that made him look sympathetic.
No.
I thought his statement afterwards, we haven't heard you talk in 2 years, and it was sort of like aggressive, the ball's in your... He didn't make it sound like he wanted to play. He should have, in my opinion, played it like, I'm just trying to do the best I can. Obviously, we couldn't work out with the way they did it because the contract was horrible. We tried to set up another reasonable workout. Instead, he kind of made it like very aggressive that would make people like Stephen A. It makes it easy for them to take that path. Right. But still, Stephen A. is better than that. I don't think he should paint it so simply. He makes it so simple, good versus bad. And now Cap is bad? Come on, man.
But once again, that's why I say it's NFL talking points. Because the NFL needed to come out of this with Cap either cowing down to their requests or Cap the bad guy. The NFL didn't bring this back to the forefront because on the other side, they wanted to be the bad guy.
Right,
they was already the bad guy.
Right.
So they got to use their mouthpieces to market in their favor.
Right. To say it's not us, it's him. We
When
gave
the
him what he
truth
wanted.
is, if the NFL really wanted this to be smooth on the other side, they would have talked to Cap before they announced the workout.
Of course. The fact that he found out when all of us did is ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
That part's super strange, man.
What?
And then on top of that, to expect him to sign a document that relinquishes all of his protections.
Nope. Why would I trust the NFL? No.
And why would I
No.
trust the people that have already colluded against me? And the collusion thing, remember everybody was like, oh, he settled, we'll never really know what happened. No, we know what happened now. As soon as the NFL said it was cool for him to have a workout happened.
Mm-hmm.
How come in 3 years, none of these teams reached out to him? It was because they didn't want problems with the NFL. That's why. And so we sit here today where the end game will be the world will move on without Colin Kaepernick. Or maybe there's some hope somewhere.
How many teams ended up showing to the high school?
7 or 8?
7 or 8. I think the
Scouts.
I think the Giants, Jets, I think they were both there. The Redskins were there. And then, one executive said he still has elite arm strength, and he was very impressive.
Wow.
But listen, as I pointed out beforehand, the guy's been to a Super Bowl and a championship game. You think he's not going to look good throwing to a bunch of wide receivers on a field? You know what I'm saying? That wasn't even the real test to me. It was a dog and pony show in that sense because, of course, Colin can get up there on a field and look like a quarterback. He's been doing this his whole life. Yeah, he's a pro.
Yeah.
So the real question is, what does it look like when teams bring him in for actual tryouts and let him play on a field with people?
And how he works amongst a team culture.
Yeah, and can he now, I get it. If a team, there could be a team that has no problem with Colin's politics, but still are like, hey, just so you know, though, we want you to be our backup quarterback. Every week, we don't want it to be about a press conference where you're talking about controversial stuff. We get what you did. We appreciate it. But while you're here, we just want you to ball with us. So that's where the whole thing would have been interesting.
Yeah.
And we didn't even get there. So now I don't think we'll ever know.
No, we won't. And I think, watching the NFL try to figure out how to get him to sign a document to waive all of his power to sue them tells me that there's going to be more lawsuits moving forward.
That's exactly which I never thought of until this
I didn't
weekend.
even know that was a thing. And I don't think the NFL wanted us to know that was a thing.
Which
But
is what
guess
makes the whole thing great. That's why they get the ultimate.
Congratulations, you played yourself.